This is kind of awkward. It's kind of cringe. I would expect it to be cringe because, frankly, I'm talking about things I'm insecure about or I have been insecure about in the past. So if you expect me to be cool, calm, collected for something that I've gone through, then you're watching the wrong video. What's going on, Internet? Eric Bandholz here, back again with another amazing Beardbrand Alliance episode video. Hope all is going well on the other side of the Internet. Today, I'm talking about my insecurities. Let's get on with it. All right, so I kind of, the purpose of this video isn't to wallow in all the things that I hate about myself. It's more to reach out to the people who are super fans of me and my videos. I think there's dozens of you guys out there, or at least one. Hi, Mom. And I want to kind of show you that even if you perceive me to have all my stuff together, that I've certainly had insecurities over the past number of years, and I continue to have insecurities to this day. And maybe you can find comfort in knowing that, there's things about me that I wish were different. So let's get into them. So going back to childhood, I never perceived myself to be like the coolest, the most confident, the most athletic, the most popular. I did have like a little bit of confidence, but I remember in the early days, I was made fun of two things externally that affected me. And one was my hair. And I used to have the whitest hair you could imagine. They used to call me Grandpa. And that bothered me. And then I got big ears. And these ears are pretty big. They were a lot bigger when I was a kid. And my wife's a genetic counselor. She said that I got poorly folded helices. I had no idea what that was. And then I guess this part for most people is kind of folded over a little bit. And then I started to think about it in my adult life. And I'm like, I don't got poorly folded helices. I've got advanced folded helices. This is the way humans are evolving, baby. We're going to have super flat ears in the future. So I'm just an early mover on that. So they called me Dumbo as a kid. And then I really like that insecurity just kind of like dissipated as my head, I guess, grew into my ears to a certain degree. And it's not really something I think about too much. I do remember I had a friend, an Asian friend. His dad would touch my earlobes and he's like, those are very good earlobes. They will bring you much wealth and happiness. I was like, okay, so somebody likes my earlobes. So this next insecurity I had was more internally focused, something that I saw around. No one ever really made fun of me for it, but I got a gap in my teeth. See? Yeah. See that? Gap tooth? I feel like, there's Madonna. She's got a gap in her tooth. And there's like these kind of like artificially set standards of beauty. And one of them is just having perfect teeth. I mean, you see Greg Berzinsky and those pearly whites. I mean, they look great. But, I've always had this gap. And the funny thing is, like, I've never had to have braces. I've got pretty good teeth. I rarely get cavities. And my bite comes down great. So, like, everything's great with my teeth. But the gap in front of it. And, I used to want to get like a Invisalign or some kind of dental work done where I would close that gap. But again, like my ears, I've kind of grown to appreciate that not everyone's got a gap in their tooth. And now it's almost like a badge of honor. I'd rather have the gap in my teeth than to remove it. And again, like you're really not going to see it because my mustache is so big. But even if you could see it, I'd still want to keep it. Now, as we get into puberty, I can't imagine anyone's going through puberty doesn't have some kind of insecurities. You get everyone the same age and in the same group of class, and everyone's going through puberty. I was a late bloomer, so it really bothered me that I didn't have any hair under my arms or, my voice would crack all the time. And acne. For any of you younger viewers out there, my thoughts are with you. The only thing I can say is it's temporary. It will pass. I know as many people who tell you that it's not going to be helpful. One thing that I have is I've got a what's it called? A concave chest or something like that. It comes in like that. So I've never had like a well-defined, good-looking chest. especially during puberty. I got the little puffy nipples. That was a period of time I didn't like that. Maybe that's too much information, but I had it, and I remember I'd walk around like when we were at the swimming pool when my thumbs turned up to cover the nipples. But that was only like a short period as my body got all of its hormones leveled out and things started to go normal and my voice quit cracking. So that was just a period of time that I think that pretty much anyone going through puberty is going to experience those. So any of you guys are on the younger side of the spectrum, just hang in there. It's going to change. Your body's going to change. It's normal. And how you end up is going to be how you end up. So you can't really control it. You just got to start embracing it. Now, as I've gotten into adulthood, I still continue to have insecurities. First, it's about when your beard coming in and how it grows and what kind of style could you have. Back when I was, at the tail end of puberty and my facial hair starting to come in, that was the late 90s, early 2000s. Facial hair wasn't a big thing there, so there's less of a pressure to grow a beard or to have a beard. So that was never really an insecurity with me. But I did have, insecurities with my hairline. I think every guy has had those kind of insecurities about, are they losing their hair? Is it receding? Hairs in the bathtub. And that's probably like something that's been on and off again for me over the years. And I want to touch base on in a little bit. And again, I think like everyone that age, I had a ruler, what I was using a ruler for back in the day, just to see how that stacked up to the standards. I wouldn't really say it was insecurity, but obviously that was rooted in some kind of curiosity of comparing yourself to others or comparing yourself to averages. So really, like I would say there was a dramatic drop off in insecurities probably around 2008-ish, like when I was approaching my late 20s, early 30s, you really start to understand who you are, how your body's going to be, like what kind of friends you're going to have. You're around people who support you for who you are rather than who wish you were different. So I didn't really have a lot of insecurities. Of course, I've talked about this on my past. My beard, it tends to come in a little bit like wispier on the cheeks. I can't grow like I can grow a big beard, but I can't grow like a really, really big beard, like a 2-year beard, because it'll start to taper off. It'll get wispy. My terminal length on the front of my chin's relatively short. And then, it just kind of, I don't enjoy the look of my really long beard. So I do wish that, my cheeks came in a little bit fuller. But again, this is something with time that I've learned to work with what I have and find styles that work for me. And again, like my beard is best in this area, and kind of like, 6 inches, or really like, kind of like 4 inches or shorter is like my ideal kind of beard length. And if I stay within that, then I'm all good to go with the beard. Now, the big insecurities I kind of want to talk about that I had up to the point like really recently is I'm one of those guys who kind of grew up with that attitude of, like rub dirt in it, be a man up, men don't cry, like real men got real tough hands, just kind of like that hyper masculinity was really kind of ingrained in me. And it wasn't ingrained from my parents at all. I think I just kind of picked it up from society or from message boards or from other friends who had that same kind of attitude. And the most silly things I feel like were insecurities that I wish I just didn't even consider was one, using a hairdryer. Like for whatever reason, I thought that using a hairdryer was emasculating. I thought that you're feminine. I thought you're all prompt and, manscaping and whatever. But I realized that a hairdryer is simply a tool to get you to a goal. It's no different than using scissors or trimmers to trim your nose hair or tweezers to pluck any kind of ear hairs you got. If you want to enhance your natural beauty and look the best that you can, a blow dryer is a fantastic tool. And it's like building a house. You can build a house with a hammer. You can build a house with a nail gun. Like a hair dryer is going to be far more effective and deliver better results than like air drying it or just putting styling product in it. And that was something that it took me a while to get over. It wasn't really until my 30s that I realized it's okay to use a hair dryer, and all of a sudden my penis doesn't fall off or anything like that if I use it. Even later than that, one of the things that I also did was I started trimming my armpit hair. I thought if you trim your armpit hair, again, the same thing as using a hair dryer, that you're emasculated, you're feminine. But man, let me tell you, with like short armpit hair, you used to have like literally like deodorant would clump up and stick together and like rip the armpit hair, and it just stinks a little more. And it's, I don't have like the fullest, best looking armpit hair. And I don't think I've ever run into anyone who's like, let me see your armpit hair. I want to like snuggle up on that. So it's not even like something you should normally desire to keep or not keep. So for me, like just trimming that down every couple of months as it gets long has been great. It's easier to apply deodorant, stinks less, and it looks good. Now I want to get to the things I still struggle with to this day. So especially as I grow my hair longer, and I'm putting myself to the test again, is, my crown is a little bit thinner than the rest of my hair. And it's something that no one really notices except for me. And a couple of you commenters will notice if I ever put my head down. I don't have the cowlick that I used to have as a kid. It's just not as full. I would like to maybe one day get plugs in there to get that volume back. Because I see guys, like my peers are Carlos Costa, Greg Berzinsky, and these guys have wonderful, great flowing hair. And I'm the guy who's got kind of thin, fine hair. And especially on the crown, it's not there. And we'll see as my hair gets long if that continues to be some kind of head trash for me. I know there's tools out there. I've tried Rogaine in the past. Personally, I'm a lower maintenance guy, so applying Rogaine regularly wasn't something for me. I don't want to do the Propecia or finasteride because I just don't want to mess with my hormones. I didn't have any issues with it, but it's just, again, not something that I'm interested in. So if I do something about it, it's two things. One, it's starting to embrace how it is. Well, I guess it's three things. Two, wearing a hairstyle that's more conducive to thinning hair up in the crown. Or three, going and getting some plugs, relocating it, doing the Bosley thing or whatever. I'm kind of waiting on that. So as technologies get better and better, hopefully it will lead to less scarring and less issues down the road. And the biggest insecurity that I currently have is really about being an entrepreneur. It's about being a business person. I have very high expectations for what we're building at Beardbrand. I feel like Beardbrand could be 10x what we're doing. And then I start to develop these questions of, am I competent as an entrepreneur, as a leader? Do I have the right kind of vision? Do I have the right kind of management style? Am I putting in the right kind of work and focusing on the right things to make sure that the company grows? My peers, for instance, one of my friends, Jack, runs this company called Dr. Squatch. Amazing company. They do natural, organic, cold press soap, similar to our utility bars. And they went from, like $3 million a year to $100 million a year in the course of a couple of years. And then Moy's with Native, they sell deodorant, kind of the same thing. They started a couple of years after Beardbrand, and they ended up going to $100 million. And I'm like, our products are just as good, or if not better, than these companies. And what am I doing wrong to not be able to reach the right audience, or price it the right way, or to offer the right service? And these are always like insecurities that I battle with, and it's a challenge because on one point I'm really content with what we built at Beardbrand. We're self-funded, we're bootstrapped, we have a wonderful team. I love my business partners, I love the team, I love the office here, I love the videos, I love Carlos, Greg, Ben, all the barbers who we work with. Like it's been such a joy. But, I still compare myself to other entrepreneurs, wondering if maybe I could be doing better. Maybe I could perform better. Maybe the YouTube channel could perform better. We could make better videos. Maybe my videos could be better. So I think there's always this kind of like self-doubt. To a certain degree, it drives me to become a better person. But I wish more of that drive came from just internal measures rather than external, seeing successful other people and trying to be successful to be their peers, and this internal insecurity of like, I'm not quite their peer because I'm not performing at their same level. So I don't know. I'm open up for you guys. Just to let you guys know, I've got my insecurities as well. I imagine all you guys have insecurities. If you're battling anything that's really dark, really morbid, I want to tell you that, you got to talk to someone. You got to ask for help. And when people, if you're not getting that help, ask someone else. Like, because the things that you are here to do on the world are worth it. I'm here to tell you that, like the things that are facing you are coming to you because you can handle it. It's like, that's why you're facing that kind of adversity, and that's why you're kind of dealing with these kind of insecurities, is because you have that capability to overcome it. A lesser person wouldn't be able to overcome it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Cheers. Keep on growing. Whoever knew sweat could smell so good? I did, because I've been using Beardbrand's new deodorant. Grab it at beardbrand.com.